everybody, and thanks for joining me today. So we're going to do a flow yoga class. So let's get started. We're just going to sit at first. So let's just sit, close our eyes, and we'll breathe in and out through the nose. And we'll gently begin to just lengthen out that breath, especially the exhale. So we'll take a big inhale, expanding that rib cage, and then exhaling completely. Feel that gentle contraction in the belly on that exhale. Let's make a little noise that you can hear inside of your head. It kind of sounds like a little whoosh, or like the ocean on the exhale. Lengthen out that breath. Let's just make it a little bit longer than that inhale. Lungs out. Really important to get all that air out. And then let's just open our eyes up and we'll hold on to those knees and we're just going to give ourselves a little pull so we're sitting really, really tall. Feel the back engage. You should feel all those little back muscles and between the shoulder blades, and just sitting tall, feeling the sit bones pressing in to the mat. And then we're going to release the hands from the knees, and we're going to do some shoulder rolls. Inhaling up, exhaling down and around. And we're going to link with that breath. Remember that nice breath, that little whoosh we were hearing on the exhale. Just do one shoulder. And we're going to do the other shoulder. I'm just going to alternate. We'll stay with that breath. Just slowing it down. One more on each side. Good job. Coming back to the center. We'll just bring our hands behind our head, and then we're just going to bring those elbows closer together, and we'll inhale, open them up, exhaling, bringing them closer together, inhaling, opening up. Again, that little whoosh sound. Feel the chest lift. Two more. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. And then we're just going to make some circles with those elbows. Just inhaling up, exhaling down and around. Small little circles. You can feel those shoulder blades in the back moving. And then we'll release those arms down again. A couple shoulder rolls going back. And then we'll just take an inhale and an exhale, dropping your chin towards your chest. We'll inhale the head level, and we're going to turn our head to the right. Just looking over the shoulder. Inhaling back to the center, exhaling chin towards your chest. Inhale. Inhaling your head level, exhaling, turning your head to the left. Inhaling back to the center, exhaling chin towards your chest. Inhaling your head level, exhaling, turning your head to the right. Inhaling back to the center, exhaling chin towards your chest. Inhaling your head level, exhaling, turning your head to the left. And coming back to the center on the inhale. And then on the next inhale, we're going to sweep that right arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to bring that arm down, turn so your palm's facing behind you. You're going to put the back of your hand on that left side of the waist. Okay. And then you're going to look down towards the left. So you're getting a big stretch in the side of the neck. And then inhale, lift. We're going to stick with this side. Exhale down. Nice stretch here. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Do one more on this side. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, lowering. And we'll come back to the center. Take a couple of shoulder rolls here. And then we'll do that on the other side. Inhaling, looking up at that hand. Exhaling, we're going to bring that hand down. Look towards that hand that you have on the floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Do one more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Coming back to the center. Okay, we're going to take an inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to drop on the back of those sit bones and just round that spine. And then we're going to inhale. We're going to roll back over those sit bones. Now we're on the front of them, and we're going to look up and feel that chest stretch, and you feel your neck stretch. Exhaling, coming back. Inhaling up. Just a nice stretch. Exhaling back. Inhaling up. And we'll do one more. So round back. And lift up. And then we'll come back to the center. We'll do some spinal circles. We're going to go around and we're going to inhale, lift up, and exhaling, going down and around. Let's do two more. Inhale up, exhale down and around, and come back to the center. We'll take an inhale. Exhale, let's go in the opposite direction. Inhaling up, exhaling down and around. Nice stretching, feeling your sides, bring your hips. Do two more. And then coming back to the top. Now grab a hold of those knees again, pull those shoulders back, sit really tall, the crown of your head is lifting towards the sky. So really some really nice posture here. Should feel really good on your body, feels easy to breathe when you're sitting nice and tall. It's hard to breathe if you're slouched over. And then we're going to come to hands and knees. Okay, so remember you can use your blankets for grumpy knees. So we'll come to hands and knees. So what we're going to do is some cat-cows here. So we'll just bring those hands to the mat, fingers spread nice and wide. We'll take an inhale. As we exhale, we'll go into that cat pose. So it's a little bit deeper than what we were doing when we were seated. Inhaling, coming into cow. Exhaling, cat. And inhaling, cow. Okay, feel that breath again. Exhaling that gentle whoosh through your nose. Inhaling, cow. Few more here. Just go at your own pace, with your own breath. With the rhythm of your breath. Back, nice neutral position. We're going to take that right foot back and press into the heel. Feeling that nice stretch in the calf muscle. That always feels good to me. And then we'll bring that leg back in. We're going to take that left leg back. In. And let's come into a child's pose. So let's go wide leg, feet together, knees are spread wide, and coming into child's pose. Now you can just rest your head on your mat. If that's not comfortable, stack your hands. You can put your forehead on the back of your hands. Just relax it. Everything relax. Just loosen it all up. Shake it out. Shake it out a little bit. And then we'll bring those hands out front. And then we'll shift forward again. We'll bring those knees a little bit closer together. And we're just going to rock back and forth. We'll come into that child's and into that modified plank. Just getting things warmed up. Exhaling, child's. Inhaling, modified plank. And child's. And plank. Remember, you don't have to go all the way back, right? Just getting things moving. And then coming back to hands and knees. And we'll go into a puppy dog pose. Okay, so we'll take the hands out front. We're going to keep the hips lifted. Rest the forehead on the mat. So it's a deeper shoulder stretch. So bend your elbows if you need to. And then we'll come back up. We're going to come into a downward facing dog. So we're going to curl those toes under and we're going to press back and we'll take a pedal. We're going to get those hips moving. Just you let them swing side to side, moving them around. And then we're just going to lift that right leg up. And then we'll bring it down. And we'll bring the left leg up. And we'll bring it down. And we'll just do a little more pedaling here. And then we're going to bring that right leg up. And we're not going to bring the foot to the floor, but all we're going to do is just kind of touch that right elbow. So just bring that leg back, touch the elbow. And you don't even have to touch your elbow, right? Don't worry about it. Just exhaling. And then we'll come back. Let's take another pedal. And then we'll bring the left leg up, and then we're just gonna bring the left knee to the left elbow. Press it back, bring it up. I want you to feel your abdominal muscle working here too. So inhale and exhale, and we'll do one more. Inhale and exhale, and then come back to your down dog. Taking another pedal, moving it around. Then we're going to bring that left leg up, and then we're just going to step it up. Okay. So we're in just a nice lunge. We've got the heel off of the floor here, and then we're going to drop that right knee down, and then we'll press up. And we're just going to tuck under that right glute. And then let's just sweep those arms up. You can bring the hands together if you choose to. And then we'll take a little twist to the left. And then we'll come back to the center. We're going to shift it back. We'll curl the toes under in that back foot. We're going to lift the toes in the front foot. Pull into the heel. And then we'll just shift forward a little bit so we can get this left leg back. We'll take a couple of cat-cows here. Just coming back to the breath, always coming back to the breath. Then we're going to come back into downward facing dog. We'll take another pedal. And lift that right leg up, that three-legged dog. We're going to bring that foot up. We're going to drop that left knee down. If you have that blanket there, that's always really nice to set your knee down on. And then we're just going to tuck under the left glute muscle. And then if we choose to, we can bring those hands up. It's just a little shift forward here. Remember, you can keep your hands apart, and you could even keep your hands here. Okay, so if your shoulder's a little sore, and then we'll take a little twist to the right. You can just press those hands together. And then we'll come back to the center. We'll curl the toes under in that back foot, and then we're going to lift the toes in the front foot. So we feel a nice stretch in the back of the leg. And then we'll shift it forward. We're going to take that right leg back behind us here. We're going to do a few more cat-cows. So exhaling cat, inhaling cow. Just back, cat, and cow. Find that breath again. Remember that little whooshy sound? Sounds like the ocean. Inhaling in your gut. Exhaling in your gut. Now come back into your child's pose. And just sinking back. Remember, find your comfortable spot in your child's pose. And then we're going to shift forward again. We're going to come into downward facing dog. Taking a pedal. We're going to walk our hands back to our feet so we're in a forward fold. So just shaking the head out here, loosening the shoulders up. Inhale halfway up. Exhale back to your forward fold. Walk your hands forward again, coming back to downward facing dog. Taking another pedal. And we're going to step that left foot up again. So that heel is going to stay lifted here. Okay. So the heel stays lifted. We're going to leave the right hand on the floor, or we can use our block. We're going to take an inhale, and then when we exhale, we're going to take that left arm to the sky. So just a nice twisting lunge here. And then we're going to bring that arm down. Now we're going to set that back foot down, and then we're going to take it into Warrior Two pose. So a nice Warrior Two pose. Long. Tuck those as-is under. Then we're going to inhale. We're going to straighten out that front leg, and we're going to inhale, lift that left arm up, and then we're going to take it into a little triangle pose. So we're going to move through this. So nice triangle, and then we'll inhale, lift, exhale, triangle, inhale, lift, exhale, triangle, and then inhale, lift, and then let's take that right hand and we'll bring it back on the left side of the waist, and we'll keep the front leg straight, pressing into that back foot. And then we're going to bend the front knee, and we'll take it into a side angle pose. So nice and long. Feel the breath again. Take it back to your breath. You want to feel strong, but relaxed at the same time, like you're not struggling. And then we're going to turn. Okay, remember you can use your blocks. We're going to lift that back heel again. We're going to take it back to downward facing dog. We're going to take a pedal. Just feeling that breath. Coming back to the breath. And we're going to lift that right leg up, and then we're going to step it up. We're going to keep that back heel lifted. Remember, you can use your block if you need some height. You're going to place that hand, left hand on the floor on your block, and then you're going to take your right arm to the sky. Nice big lift. Make sure that right knee is staying over your ankle so it's not twisting out to the right. Now we're going to bring that hand down. Remember, you can use your blocks on this too. We're going to drop that back foot down, and then we're going to come into a Warrior Two pose. So nice long Warrior Two pose. Really long. And then we're going to inhale. We're going to straighten out that front leg, and then we're going to exhale, take it into our triangle pose. And then inhale, lift, exhale, triangle, inhale, lift, exhale, triangle, and then inhale, lift. We're just going to hold right here. We're going to take that left hand and wrap it around that right side of the waist. And just hold. And then we're going to bend the front knee. We're going to take it into a side angle pose. So nice and long. Press into that back foot. to downward facing dog. Taking a pedal, coming back to the breath, drop it down to the knees, coming into child's pose. Just breathe. Coming back to hands and knees. And we'll do a couple of cat-cows. Exhaling cat, inhaling cow, and again cat, and cow, and we'll do one more cat, one more cow. We'll come back to downward facing dog, take a pedal, let those hips move. Then we're going to step up to our forward fold. So we're going to step up, exhaling into a forward fold, shaking the head out. We're going to inhale halfway up, and we're going to bring our arms back alongside. They're going to be pretty level with the hips, with the palms down, and then externally rotate your shoulders, and then come back into your forward fold. Shake your head out. Bend your knees. Reverse your swan dive. Inhaling up. Exhaling your hands to your heart center. Let's sink down into that chair. We're going to take a twisting chair. So we're going to take an inhale, and when we exhale, we're going to take the right elbow to the sky. And then we'll come back to the center, come back into forward fold. And then we're going to bend those knees, reverse our swan dive, inhaling up. Exhale your hands to your heart center. Let's sink back into a chair again. We're going to take an inhale. When we exhale, we're going to take that left elbow to the sky. Sinking down into those heels. And then come back to the center, come back to your forward fold, shake your head out. We're going to inhale halfway up, exhale back to your forward fold, bend your knees, reverse your swan dive, and exhaling, we're going to come into a chair pose. Just reaching up. Sinking back into the heels. Maybe you can lift your toes when you do this. And then inhale up, exhaling your hands to your heart center, and coming into Tadasana pose. Shoulder rolls going back, feeling the breath. Inhale, let's sweep it up. Exhale, swan dive forward fold. Okay, we're going to bring that right foot back. And then we're going to move into a straddle split. So we're going to come down into the straddle split. So let's pigeon toe the feet a little bit and coming down. Just shaking the head out. Remember, you're pressing into your big toe mound and you're not letting too much pressure on the outside edges. And then we're going to inhale, extend the spine. Exhale down. And inhale up. And exhale down. Let's inhale up. And as we exhale, we'll take a right arm to the sky. Remember, if this bothers your shoulder, just bend your elbow and you can just put your hand on the back of that low back area on the left side, or even hand on your right hip. Sometimes our shoulders hurt in different areas. And we're going to take that right hand And we're gonna bring it underneath the left, and we're gonna grab a hold of the outside of the left leg, and you can scooch that left hand further out front so you get a little more space so you can look underneath your left armpit. And then we're gonna come back to the center, come back into your forward fold. Just relax. Feel, notice what you feel in your body. Are you feeling your inner thighs or the backs of your legs? Just notice what you feel in your body and breathe. Just breathe. And inhale, extend your spine. And then what we're going to do is walk the hands towards the top of the mat. Okay, so now you're back into a nice little lunge. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift up into a balancing half moon. So you can use your blocks and take them out front and lift your back leg. And then you can take your right arm to the sky. Remember, you can always stay with your hands forward, just lifting your leg. And then we'll all do that. We'll just bring our hands forward. We're going to lift that back leg. And then we'll just bend the knee and we'll come into a forward fold. Shaking that head out again. We'll inhale halfway up. Okay, we're going to bring those arms back again. Nice airplane pose. Exhale down. Next, inhale, bend your knees, reverse your swan dive. Inhaling up. And we'll exhale our hands to our heart center. Okay, so I think for our balancing pose, we will do Warrior 3. Very similar to airplane pose. So for some of you who've done airplane, or Warrior 3 before, and sweep those arms up and interlace your hands and release your index fingers. Or, which is going to be a little bit less shaky, we'll put our hands on our hips. Okay? And then we'll step that left foot forward and we're going to reach the right leg back. Okay, so remember, options, arms over the head. This gets a little wobbly sometimes. And then we'll slowly come back. Okay. A couple of shoulder rolls going back. We'll inhale, sweep up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. We're going to step that left foot back and we're going to move into a straddle split. Okay. So we're going to face the opposite direction, coming down into that straddle split. Shake that head out. Inhale, extend your spine. And exhale down. Inhale, extend your spine. And exhale down. Now, inhale, extend your spine. And when you exhale, take that left arm up. Remember, if that arm bothers you, the different options, hand on your back, hand on your hip. Okay, we're trying to get the chest open, so we're going to try to pull that left shoulder back, but we don't want to hurt it. Then we're going to take that left arm, we're going to sweep it underneath the right, we're going to grab hold of the outside of the right leg. That right arm, you can take it forward a little bit, so you have space. So you're looking underneath your right armpit. then we're gonna come back to the center, come back into your forward fold. Let's stay here, we're gonna breathe. We're gonna find our breath. Big inhale through the nose. And then exhale. Feel like things just let go when you exhale, right? Everything just lets go. Now, inhale, extend your spine. And then we're going to walk our hands towards the top of the mat. Okay. And then remember, you can use your blocks here. You're going to lift that left leg up. And then we're going to take it to a balancing half moon. We're going to take that left arm up. Strong in that right leg. Really strong in that right leg. Then we're going to turn it forward here. We're going to just let that leg lift a little bit higher. And then we're going to step forward. We're going to come into our forward fold. Just shaking that head out. Now we're going to inhale. Halfway up. Take it to your airplane again. Then we're going to bring it back down. Bend those knees, reverse our swan dive, inhaling up, exhaling our hands to our heart center. Okay. So we're going to go into that warrior three, I keep calling it airplane. So arms can come up and you can interlace your hands like this, okay. Or you can bring your hands to your hips. Okay. We're going to step that left foot out, and we're going to reach that right leg back. Hopefully I didn't just flip-flop that for you guys. And then release, come back. Okay. Couple of shoulder rolls here. Let's do a little bit of seaweed just to keep things nice and loose, okay? A little bit of seaweed. And hands on the shoulders. And then we'll release the arms again. And then we're going to head towards the floor. Okay. So we're going to come into a seated position. And we're going to bring our feet together. So nice little butterfly pose. So we're going to get really tall. So we're going to roll those shoulders back and down. Just give a little pull on those ankles. Really tall, just like when we start and we get really tall and we're just holding onto those knees. I want you to have that same feeling in your back. So we're really working on those back muscles. Really want you to feel them. Notice how they feel. You should feel them all around those shoulder blades. Now, we're going to relax that, and then we're just going to hinge forward a little bit. Now, remember, everyone's got a different hinge, right? Because we all don't come out of the factory with the same hinges. Okay. So we're just hinging forward. And remember, you can sit on that rolled up blanket, okay, or just gently coming forward. Now, maybe We can put our hands on the floor just a little bit. Sometimes that helps. We don't want to overstretch those inner thighs either. And then we'll just gently walk those hands back up. And then we'll bring the hands back behind us. And we're just going to press those hands. So remember, you don't want to get sloppy when you do this. You want to press your hands into the floor, and that opens up your chest. You can just drop your head back. And then we'll slowly come back up. And we're going to take one leg out front, and we're going to bring the other leg. So we're going to bend the knee, put that foot on the floor. We'll take our hand back behind that bent leg side, and we're just going to get tall. Okay. And then we're going to twist from the belly button. I want you to think belly button, ribs, and chest. You could keep your hand right here. Okay. Some folks like to take their hand here, but the main goal is not to force yourself into the twist with your arm. We want the belly button, so that means your core muscles are working here. So you're twisting from that belly button, brace your core. And you can look out over that right shoulder as long as you're not hurting your neck. And there's other options for this twist too. That right leg can go over the left, and you can also bend that left leg too. Okay, so those are options. And then we'll slowly release. Okay, and shake out the leg. Okay, the legs. Okay, so we're gonna bring that left knee up. Remember, it's gonna go here, here, and you can wrap this right leg back too. Okay, so we're gonna get nice and tall. We'll take an inhale. We're going to take this hand back behind that bent knee side. Get really, really tall. Now, remember, it's not the shoulders. This is what happens when you twist from the shoulders, you know, from the top first. You're just doing this, okay? It's kind of just coming from the top down. We want to go from the belly button. So think the belly button's going to turn first, and then it's moving up the spine, that twist. Really tall. Looking out over that left shoulder. Remember, you could put your hand on a block too. So if you had a block back there, you could put your hand on a block. Lots of options. And then we'll slowly release. Okay, we're going to lay on our stomachs. So if you want, you can use your blanket for this. So we'll lay on our tummies. And that blanket would go from pubic bone to chest, tops of the feet down, hands on each side of the chest here. And then roll your shoulders back. We're going to keep the feet down, and we're just going to lift into a nice low cobra. And then we'll lower down, turning your head to the right. And then we'll roll the shoulders back again, inhaling, press your belly into your mat. And then lower down, turn your head to the left. And then inhale, roll it back. We're just going to stay up here. Kind of tuck your elbows into your ribs. And then lower down. Turn your head to the right. Just release your arms at your sides. Just relax. And we're going to turn, face the mat. So we're going to look down at the mat, and we're going to bring our fingertips on each side. They're going to be below your hips. We're going to keep the feet down, and we're just going to lift. We're pulling the shoulder blades back, and we're going to keep that chin tucked in. we're working on the upper back. So think upper back, upper back. And then we'll relax again. And then guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a forearm plank. Okay, so we're gonna come up onto the forearms, curl those toes under. All right, and we're gonna lift, pressing into the forearms. So think of that little tuck. You can tuck your ribs and your hips a little closer together. You're a little puffy in the upper back. Sometimes we get too lifted and maybe we just need to lower a little bit. Try to keep your head from hanging. Some of us have a tendency to do this. I know I have a tendency to do that. We're going to try to stay nice and long, press into the heels. Keep on tucking. And I'm trying to keep my eye on the clock. Nice and strong. Brace your core. You kind of can't help but brace your core here. We're almost there. Almost. Almost. And we're there. Okay, relax. Just bring your arms at your sides. Breathe. Now, let's come up onto the forearms. Nice little Sphinx pose. Come back to hands and knees. And we'll do a couple more cat-cows here. So exhaling cat, inhaling cow, and again another cat, and cow. One more time, and cat, and cow. And then let's stand on our knees. We're just going to do a camel pose. So let's bring hands on each side of that low back. Okay. We're going to pull the elbows back. And then we're just going to let our upper body, so look up towards the ceiling, press your hips forward. You don't have to take your hands back to your heels. You can if you want to, if you have that flexibility. But you want to feel this stretch in the front of your body. Going all the way up through that throat. Chest open. So really pull those elbows back. And then we'll just slowly come back up. And then we'll come back to hands and knees. And we're just going to stay right here. This lets the back just reset on its own. Okay, it's a nice neutral position. Then we'll come back into a child's pose. Then we'll come onto our backs. And you can always lay on your blanket if you want to. Just gonna hug those legs in and we'll rock. Little back massage. And just set the left foot on the floor. Cross the right ankle above the left knee. Lift the left foot off of the floor. You can hold on to the left leg if you choose to. Okay, just wrapping your hands around the back of that thigh. Set the left foot down, the right foot, then we're going to cross the left ankle above right knee. Lift the right leg off of the floor. You can wrap your hands around the right thigh or not. Remember, you can do it just like this too. Just using this right leg to create more stretch for you if you choose to. Release that foot down. Now we're going to take the legs long and we're going to do a little bit of zombie work. So we're going to lift and use those oblique muscles, just rocking. And then hug it in. The legs to tabletop position. We're going to just alternate tapping toes. We're keeping the same amount of space in the low back. So we need to brace the core. So remember, you're pushing out. It's like somebody's going to come in and hit you in the stomach, right? So brace that core. More of a challenge. We don't want to create more arch or flatten. Okay, when we bring the legs back, we don't want to be flattening, and then when we take those toes forward, we don't want to be creating more arch because we're bracing. We're trying to hold that nice neutral position, and we're creating all the strength in our abs without having to do crunches. And then we'll take it to dead bug pose. So we'll grab a hold of those toes or the backs of the thighs. So the legs are really spread wide. It's like you're doing a big squat. Your knees are on the outside of the armpits. So it's not like doing a split where your legs are straight. You're trying to keep your ankles above your knees. So your knees are bent, and when you pull down, the knees come closer to your upper body. Press your tailbone towards the floor. So we don't want to be lifted like this. So if we press the tailbone down, you can feel, and now your back's going to be really flat, more than likely, unless you have a really big arch. So it's a pull and a push. Okay, so think of that, a nice stretch in the inner thigh area, and then release. Now both feet flat on the floor. Take your arms out into a T with the palms up. Okay, and your feet can be hip width distance or wider. We're just going to take some little twists from side to side. You drop your head in the opposite direction that your legs are going. Side to side. Now, what you're going to do, sorry, you don't have to roll over yet. Just straighten out your legs. Bring your arms at your sides, and we'll do a little sloshing. We'll just push and pull. And whatever you need for final relaxation, pillows, blankets. I know you're at home, so you have all your favorite stuff around you for final relaxation, and the heater, right? You can have any temperature you want. And then let's relax. Just let everything go into your mat. Breathe in and out through your nose. Find that breath again. I bet that your breath is a lot more relaxed here at the end than when we began. Notice how your body feels. Try to avoid any movement at all. So something's itching your nose, or you got a hair out of place, or whatever the case may be, just notice it and let it go. It doesn't matter. Just let it go. Let your body feel more and more relaxed. Let's begin to move fingers and toes just gently. And then bend your knees and slowly roll over to your right side. a seated position. And then we'll take a few spinal circles. We'll move in the opposite direction. Come back to the center. We're going to take a big inhale and a long, slow exhale. And on the next inhale, we'll sweep up, exhaling hands to heart center. Namaste. Things turn out best for the people who make the best out of the way things turn out, right? Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.